All right, welcome to part 5 of the Red Mist discussion on Black Ops multiplayer. And today is the one I've been waiting for. We're going to talk about the kill streaks. And we're going to jump right in and start with the one everyone's pissing their pants about, the RCXD. Now, everyone's crying because this is a 3 kill streak. It's going to ruin everything. There's never been a kill streak at 3 that does anything to kill anyone. And I think no one's going to use it. And the reason I think that is because the wonderful thing about Black Ops is the kill streaks do not stack. Getting a double kill with your RCXD won't get you to your napalm strike. So why would you run that when you can run the spy plane? What do you guys think?
One of the interesting things I could think about, the only thing I could really think about that is that, yeah, it's a double kill. I mean, there's a 3 kill streak to get it, but there is no stacking, so that kill isn't really going to mean anything. And in most games, you hide in some corner somewhere trying to run that thing. I mean, as you remember, Modern Warfare 2, by the time you got out of it, you were dead. So, it's basically like you saying to yourself, I'm going to sacrifice this little kill streak I've got going on so far just to run an RC car. It doesn't make sense. And yeah, Nick said it perfectly. I mean, why wouldn't you use something that tells you exactly where everybody is ever on the map? It's perfect.
I could see some reason to use it. Maybe if you're just looking for a quick kill, maybe you're looking to get your numbers up, and I could see it being fun.
With the RC car, you're pretty much guaranteed at least 1 kill. But the potential you have for seeing where everyone else is and for everyone else in your entire team, overall, it's going to be better than the car.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. The only real use I could see is you're trying to get points in search. It's obviously going to be an easy kill.
Well, also, a good way you could use it is you're using hacker with it. You can see enemy explosives, run into them and blow them up.
The other thing I can think of the use, I mean, not going to see a whole lot of it, I don't think, on most of the game types, but like something like domination, especially if you build them up and hold on to them, it's essentially somebody's taking it, you now have a C4 on wheels.
That's a very good point. Anyone else have anything to add? All right, moving on. All right, up next on my list is the spy plane, which is the UAV or the recon plane. It's the same thing in every game. Does anyone have anything to add?
Negative.
Anyone?
Our recon plane will find them!
Yes, it will. Up next is the counter spy plane, which is essentially the same thing as it was in the last game. It just blocks out the enemy radar. Anyone want to add anything to that? All right, let's move on to the next exciting one. Okay, this is going to be the most interesting of the new ones, in my opinion. This is the SAM, the 4 kill streak SAM, the surface-to-air missile. And what that does is it's a deployable, much like the Sentry Gun from Modern Warfare 2, only instead of killing enemies, it'll shoot down enemy air support, which was a big issue in Modern Warfare 2. Nobody wanted to shoot down air support. Nobody wanted to carry a Stinger. But now you can carry a kill streak that does it. What do you guys think?
I think it won't shoot down the Blackbird.
I always enjoyed shooting down stuff and pissing off people. I always like being that guy who always shot the shit down early. But the fact that it adds a kill streak might add more people shooting them down, which is a good thing. But in the end, people are always going to want to kill, get more kills, not shoot down air stuff. So people aren't going to be using it as a kill streak as much as you'd like. But it's possible. It's a new way to shoot down stuff, which is always a good thing.
I think it'll be fun to take him over with hacker.
Yeah, really interesting to see what happens with that. I don't think a lot of people run it, but I know I will. All right, up next is the 5 kill streaks, and we're going to start it off with the returning care package. Now, the care package is interesting in this game because it won't just give you random kill streaks or ammo. It's also going to give you special weapons, such as the giant minigun and the Grim Reaper rocket launcher, which is a semi-automatic 4-round rocket launcher. Anything to add to that, guys? Okay, moving on. Up next on the 5 kill streaks is the napalm strike. Now that's pretty interesting. That's the new airstrike. Very cool, very relevant. Anyone want to add to that?
I like the napalm strike. I think it's very fitting for the era that the game's supposed to be in. And the second I heard about it, I was like, yeah, it's got to be the F4, which of course it is. One of the things I wonder, though, is that napalm, if you ever seen like what it actually looks like, it sticks to things and burns for a long time after that. Be interesting if the area that gets hit, how long it'll burn afterwards. That'd be pretty cool. Like if there was like basically pools of this stuff burning everywhere and you could walk through it and get hurt or whatever like that. I just wonder how far how deep they'll make it.
I liked what they did with it because it seems they took the precision airstrike, cut out 2 jets, and just had one cover the whole area that the 3 normally would.
Going back to what Bob of the Future said, if it sticks to things and it stays there afterwards, imagine it's implements in, let's say, domination and stuff like that. Be very cool, like the ink grenades in Gears of War.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the ink grenades, you might remember me talking about. Area denial is very important, and if it sticks and stuff like that, and an area is burning, you're not going to be there.
If that is the case, though, it might make games like Search and Destroy or Demolition impossible to play.
But it's a kill streak. They don't stack. How many guys? If there's that many people doing it, where it makes the game impossible, you guys are losing anyway.
That's a good point. Anyone else? All right. What we got next here is the Sentry Gun, which also returns from Modern Warfare 2. And I'm quite sure that that's going to be essentially the same thing. For anyone who didn't know, it was a placeable turret that would just shoot as enemies came through. Anyone have anything to add? Nope.
Why did it move up to a 6-kill streak?
Is it a 6-kill streak? I did not know that. I thought it was a 5. Maybe they actually made it useful in this game, because I kind of found it a little useless in Modern Warfare 2. Maybe it has better hit detection.
My favorite was when you found the one random noob with the riot shield standing in front of it, stacking his points.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all they boil down to. But hopefully in Black Ops still actually be a useful kill streak. All right, moving into the 7 kill streaks, we're going to start it off with a brand new idea, the Mortar Team. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, you pick 3 spots on the map, like the artillery strike from World at War. Obviously, it being 3 different spots, being the difference. And they get bombarded with artillery or mortars. Anyone got anything to add?
I kind of dig this idea. Having 3 spots means that you can kind of do things to, either help, in domination or whatever like that, and then you could also help use that if there's a group of bad guys in a certain area and you try to hit them. You could then hit where they are now, and then hit where they may run to when they know there's one coming, which just makes it a lot more useful. If you remember right in World at War, everybody knows the artillery was useless. All it did, honestly, was hurt your team more when they walked into the area and they also had to walk slow because they're being bombed, So, I mean, like, you got no kills and stuff like that because how slow it took. So, as long as they fix that a little bit, and the fact you could drop them in 3 separate different places like that is kind of cool.
Now, I wonder, if you're using your mortar and you place it right, if you can actually drop any kind of air support if it perfectly flies into your area.
Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, air support flying through that area, getting shelled. That's not a bad idea. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Moving on, we have the attack helicopter, which returns from COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2. Now, in Call of Duty 4, it was obviously very feared and powerful. It took out a lot of enemies, but in Modern Warfare 2, it was useless. It just flew around the map for 3 minutes doing absolutely nothing, and there was no reason to use it with the Harrier, which was basically kind of made the attack helicopter look completely pointless.
I would agree with you. It was completely useless. One of the funny things is that if you ever watched it where somebody wouldn't shoot it down, sometimes it would go on a pretty good tear. It would get a couple kills. Like if it found like a group of guys in one spot, unlike the Harrier, it wouldn't like pick one and kill him and then fly away. It would kind of hang out in the area, almost like it was like had more control, drop down and stuff like that. But its big thing that really increased the useless is that if anybody felt like shooting at it at all, it was instantly shot down. I don't think I ever saw one of those dodge a rocket at all. And it usually took, 1, maybe 2 shots, and that was it. Done.
All right. Up next is the Valkyrie rockets, which is, I think, a really super cool replacement for the Predator missile. And the way it works is you fire a shoulder-mounted missile. I believe you get 2 of them, actually. And you control it like the Predator, the main difference being that it doesn't come from the sky. It comes from ground level, which could make it a little more difficult. I know at least somebody in the room doesn't agree with me.
I have some issues. I'm a little bit afraid of these rockets. From watching the videos that have been out so far, it seems like it's really hard to dodge one of these at all. Like, so basically, if they see you, you're gonna die. Like, remember with the old rockets, if you'd have a chance maybe running inside, whatever like that, that kind of bothers me. But one of the interesting things, I mean, like, it's the same thing as anything else. You're gonna be standing still. Your guy's probably gonna get killed while you're sitting there, driving this thing around the map. I think the auto reticle stuff, the red reticles you have around everybody, is a little bit excessive, but that's whatever. Another question I've got is, can you shoot down air support with it? That's the important question.
I think a lot of people are going to find it hard to use at first because, firing it from the ground, you're going to want to go up and try to get some air so you can, find your target. But, a lot of people are going to try to do that, end up crashing into like a light post, and they're going to go off for days about it, and it's going to happen.
I gotta go back to what Rob said. If you can shoot down air support with it, that's great. You can use one for air support and one for kills.
Yeah, the versatility is really what can make that thing.
That puts a lot of people off because the flares won't even be able to do anything. It would just instant shot whatever the hell you're firing it at.
That's assuming that any air support does have a flare.
Yeah, that's a good point. None of that's confirmed yet. All right, anyone else? Okay. All right, what we're going to discuss now is another one of the new innovative kill streaks that I think is going to be really cool, and that's the 8 kill streak Blackbird. Now, the way this is going to work is it's going to show your enemies on the radar the exact same way your allies are shown on the radar. The full carrot without the delay that the UAV has and the direction that they're going. This could really, really be a game changer. How do you guys feel about this?
Aside from the advantages of seeing them at all times, which way they're facing, I think the duration needs to be longer because it's an 8 kill streak. You're working really hard to get this thing, and to have it the same duration, it's just gonna it's lackluster.
I'm liking this streak. This is probably something I'm gonna be running early. It's like they say all the time, knowing where your enemy is half the fight.
I disagree about the length of it. I think because of what it does, it should remain the same amount of time. I know it's a much harder to get kill streak, but showing exact position, direction of movement, I mean, that seems a little unfair.
Yeah, and to continue on with what INS was saying, and about the time, I agree. While the timing doesn't really have to be set longer, because think about it, how long do they need where people are going to start piling up napalm strikes and mortar strikes on people, so that it'll become also just like a total fuckfest, clusterfuck, for the other team. They won't be able to leave spawn, or it could have some issues. So I agree with the length. It probably where it is now is probably perfectly fine.
And there is a counter to it. The Ghost perk makes you invisible to the spy plane and the Blackbird kill streaks. One thing I would definitely like to do with the Blackbird is run it as my last kill streak, and then when I die, use it again to start building up new kill streaks. Okay, the next 8 kill streak is going to be the Rolling Thunder, which all we know so far is that the symbol for it is a B-52 dropping bombs. So I assume it'll be a lot like the Stealth Bomber from Modern Warfare 2, but since it's an 8 kill streak, I guess the difference will be that it won't be invisible on radar. So it's not a stealth plane, so that kind of will contradict that.
I don't really have much to add. I mean, it's obviously, it's probably going to be very much like the Stealth Bomber, which is pretty cool. It's going to run a track across the map. I'm just looking forward to it. I hope they make it loud as hell. Like, it should shake the hell out of the map and stuff like that. If you ever seen a B-52, even on a picture, you realize how gigantic it is.
My concern is that it not being stealth and all, will the SAM take it down?
That's a very good point. There's a SAM on the map, and it could be shot down. That's the loss of a pretty high kill streak and a lot of potential kills. All right. Nope. And Rob, what do you got?
Which, of course, just brings up how important your hackers are going to be.
Absolutely. Okay, it looks like we're not going to be able to fit the whole kill streak discussion into one video, so we'll cut it off here, and we will continue it very soon. Stay tuned.